If you want to make a lot of money, it's very simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. That's the phrase that was heard around TikTok and went super viral for me. And I wanted to discuss it in more detail here today because if you are running an online business and you're in the market to make more money, then today's video is going to be very helpful for you in order to help you see what kinds of things you need to do to make that money. And like I said, it is really simple to make more money. It's just not always the easiest. So let's explore what that means for you and see how you can be making more money today. Welcome back. I'm Christina Scalera. I'm an online business mentor who sold my e-commerce store last year, and now I'm here to help you create the most passive, managed by itself business possible through your digital products and other online offers. I am also somewhat of a TikTok expert at this point, and so with this video that went viral, it was really exciting because honestly, I recorded it in the kitchen of my vacation house, my ski house in Colorado, and I really wasn't expecting anything. It was just kind of like a thought that I had had on my mind simmering for a while. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make a TikTok about this and see if there's anyone out there that resonates with this. And boy, was I surprised because not only did people resonate, they really got going in the comment section thanking me. It was honestly the first viral video I've had where people were just overwhelmingly positive. Like the trolls didn't come out with their claws showing. Usually when I go viral on TikTok, it's kind of a mix of both, but this one was overwhelmingly positive. So it was very interesting because my premise, the thing I discussed in this video, was that if you are solving expensive problems, you are able to charge more money for them, and therefore it's easier for you to make more money. It's easier for you to sell. And as you can see, if you can just figure out more expensive problems to solve for people, you are going to be able to make more money. It's very simple in that way. But it's not always easy to find those problems. And that's what the crux of a lot of online business comes down to, is how do you find what problems to solve? So in today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the methods you can use in order to figure out what problems to solve so that you can make as much money as possible. When I first started my online e-commerce store, the contract shop that I sold last year, I was looking at all of the problems in the marketplace. Now, I was actually an aspiring private yoga teacher at the time. I was going to Rising Tide Society meetups and just kind of trying to get myself out there and known as a yoga teacher, not a lawyer or like a e-commerce seller or an online business expert. I didn't actually know anything about online business other than I had hired a web developer and thought they were a designer. That was basically the extent of my online business knowledge at the time. And so with this developed website that was kind of a weird design because they did their best, but they didn't ever explain to me. I learned it later, but they didn't ever explain to me that a designer is different than a developer. So they did their best with this website, and I went forward with my yoga blog. And anyway, I didn't really see much success there, but because I wasn't making much money, surprise, surprise, as a yoga teacher, I had to find a way to make income somehow. So one of the things I was doing during this time period was still doing some trademarks and legal work that I had learned and doing that for clients. And what would happen is I would go to these meetups with people and these creative events and calligraphy workshops and just kind of really fun things in the creative space and wedding space. And I would end up outing myself as a lawyer, and then people would have tons of questions. Oh my gosh, my client did this. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to answer this question that I got from an inquiry. I flooded 3 floors of a hotel room and I don't know what to do. Who's liable for this? So like I got all kinds of really crazy, weird scenarios thrown my way. And, without giving legal advice, I tried my best to steer them in the right direction of like the right kind of person that could help them. And eventually I thought, well, I could start to help some of these people. So I took my unique background of being a lawyer with my unique background of being interested in like calligraphy. At the time I was doing a little bit of graphic design, like someone actually hired me to do their logo off Etsy. I will always forever be very sorry to that person. But I was trying to do a lot of like creative pursuits, copywriting, graphic design, calligraphy. What else was I doing? Painting. Like I was just really trying to figure out what my mark would be in this world as a small business owner. And I thought it would be something a little bit more creative like that. Well, lo and behold, I was able to crisscross the two things that I was most interested in, namely my background that I had gone to school for with my creative pursuits. And I started calling myself a lawyer for creative entrepreneurs, and I started creating products around that because I knew that not everyone could afford a lawyer. That's, why they were having issues and asking me for free legal advice in these settings. So I started to blog about it, and that got a lot of traction. I mean, for someone who previously got maybe 100 site visitors a month, to get 100 site visitors per blog post that I was putting out, that was really something phenomenal for me. And it made me feel like this online business thing could actually work. So the first lesson here is you need to take your unique background, whatever that is. Maybe you went to school for a certain topic. Maybe you have some kind of artistic skill or interest like horses. Maybe you have something that most people wouldn't just look at you and know about you. Maybe you're disabled. Maybe there's something that you can really use to highlight your skill set or hone in on a particular demographic. So for example, it's a lot more simple to sell a solution for people who are ADHD and struggling to get their business launched than it is to sell a solution to just generally everyone who wants to launch their business. And it gets even more simple the more and more you narrow down. So if it was like ADHD, but also autistic women who like cats who are launching a business, like that is so specific. If someone falls into that category, they're going to know immediately. And if they don't, they're also going to know, but they're going to remember you and be able to tell their friend who's looking for someone just like you that you exist. Compare that with someone who's just like, oh yeah, I'm a TikTok coach. Well, maybe people are able to refer you, but it would be better if you were a TikTok coach for female online entrepreneurs who are also business coaches. Like the more specific you can get, the more specific the problems are that you solve, the more easy it is for people to pay you because they understand immediately that you are there to help them. So the first step in making more money and making it easy is to make sure that you are solving problems that people can easily identify, either through your unique background combined with your experience, or something about you that is uniquely situated to accomplish the results that you're looking for on behalf of your clients and customers. The second thing that you need to consider, and I gave an example in this TikTok of if you solve more expensive problems, then people are going to pay you more money for it. And the example I gave was finding an apartment versus finding a candle, right? Like no one is going to go out and hire someone to find candles for them. Maybe Kim Kardashian, but like a normal person isn't going to be like, oh my gosh, I just have to find the right candle. Let me hire someone to do this for me. No, like that is not a problem that's worth solving, and definitely not a problem that's like worthy of them spending money on. They're just going to go out and find the candles that they're looking for. So having a candle or needing a candle, that's not a very valuable problem. I'm not saying that that's not a noble profession, making and selling candles. In fact, I have one behind me right now. I'm obsessed with candles. But I am saying that it's harder to sell a candle for $1,000 a month than it is to sell, say, an apartment or rent out a house for $1,000 a month. Because when someone needs a place to live, that's a much more pressing, problematic thing for them than not having enough candles in their life. I know that's debatable for some of us, but you get what I mean. So if you want to make more money, you need to look for those more expensive problems that people are dealing with. If you are helping someone to resolve what they're going to do with their life or where they're going to live or what they want to have happen in their business, these are all more expensive problems that are plaguing people than like what kind of paintbrushes they should use on their canvas. So if you want higher paying clients, you have to solve more expensive problems for them. Again, this is where the simple, but not necessarily always easy comes in, because if everybody could figure out what these expensive problems were, then everybody would be making millions and millions of dollars. This is also why we pay people who are like tech engineers at Google more than someone who's a waitress at Denny's, because someone that is serving food is not as big of an issue as resolving like, what are we going to do about AI and how are we going to make stockholders happy? These are more expensive problems versus just serving food. And I am, again, not knocking anybody that is working in any kind of job, but I am giving an example of where one person is paid a lot more than others because of the perceived value of the problem that they're resolving. And then third and finally, this is what the rest of this whole channel is about, but you have to actually let people know that the problem that they need resolved in their life is one worthy of getting resolved. So for example, if you help people organize their Asana, they might not know that you exist. Like they might just know that they're really struggling to get organized in their business. Maybe they even have Asana, but they just don't know how to use it. It's just a mess. They keep forgetting to use it. So your job is not just to resolve more expensive problems, but it's also to let people know that you are out there and available to solve those problems for them. So if you're not telling anyone that your services or your products exist, then obviously sales are going to be very difficult for you because no one even knows that they can make that purchase from you. So in summary, you need to be able to pull out your unique background and strengths. You all have them, whether it's because you specialize in some kind of hobby or interest that not a lot of other people have relative to the general population. Or maybe you have some kind of professional background or training that you can combine with this hobby. You are probably not even giving yourself enough credit for the skills that you have. Just a little reminder there, but that's the first thing that you can do in order to make making money more simple. And if you want to make it even easier, then you need to figure out how to, number two, solve more expensive problems. If you are solving problems that cost someone a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of anguish, then you are going to be able to charge much higher prices than anybody else. So if you can do that, and then number three, let them know that your solution exists, that you are a ClickUp mentor or organizer, that you are a brand photographer who specializes in women of color, then you are going to be able to sell a lot more of your services, of your offers, and your products than anybody else because you're getting out there and letting people know that you exist. A lot of people think their marketing has to be really like tactical and strategic. And the biggest thing that most people don't do is just talk about what they have to sell, to offer. So if you can get out there and just talk about your offers, talk about what you have available for sale, then you're going to start to see a lot more success than your peers who are just ignoring Instagram or TikTok or Threads. Speaking of offers, I have my 10 steps to creating a six-figure following on TikTok, and that is linked below. So if you want to get hands on that, then make sure that you go to the link below, or you can just go to stan.store/Christina Scalera. As a last little note, I will be opening up some coaching spots this fall. So if you want to make sure that you are first on the list to hear about those spots because they will sell out, then make sure that you email me hello@christinascalera.com and we can send you an application. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you're subscribed, that you like this, that you're leaving a comment. All of those things make such a difference. And I put this content out there totally for free for you. And it would mean the world to me if you just said a little hello in the comments below. Let me know who you are, where you're from, what you're selling, and we can just kind of have a little exchange. I would love that. So let me know where you're from and what you're up to. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.